Okay. Hello, class. This is Jake Eubank. This is my second discussion board post in Dr. DeVita's EDL 630, today's college student. And today I'd like to talk about the two key issues that stood out to me from this Module two's reading, why it stood out, and the relation to my project. Just a little bit of background on my project. What I'm looking at doing is looking at retention of undergraduate students as it relates to their participation in recreational and leisure activities throughout their college career. And for the case study, the population that I'm looking at are swimmers, so undergraduate students um, that swim on a regular basis, and how that affects their well-being, and ultimately how that affects their retention here in college. So the approach that I'm looking at with retention is a college impact model, and I'm looking at Aston's IEO model and the theory of involvement. IEO again is input, environment, and outcome. So throughout the readings, the first issue in relation to my project that I saw was the idea of the institutional environment and its influence on not only student learning but also the student experience. And some things that jumped out at me as I was reading was because of the institutional environment, is the interactions with professional staff. And I think I have somewhat of a bias as I was reading this, because interaction with professional staff, I automatically go and think about those students that I closely supervise, and the supportive relationships that I create with them, as far as student development goes. So for my study, again, it's their acquisition of knowledge is enhanced by their environment. So Aston and Koo is they are highly influential in this issue. And active student involvement. So their social and extracurricular effort involvement. That's one concept that I really started looking at, and how it has implications on what is learned in college through interactions with peers and faculty out of the classroom. And this kind of reminded me of another reading in Dr. McClure's class, that talks about getting students and faculty in the student recreation center and involved, and how it takes them out of their traditional roles as faculty and student, and just involves them, uh, participating in a recreational activity together without those traditional roles. So and then work responsibilities, general personal development, and the concept of general personal development, developing good health habits and physical fitness. That's one thing that also popped out. And so, looking at the second issue, that this came from the Renner Reason reading, was the concept of socialization, just because that's one of the main concepts that we kind of try to employ here at the Student Recreation Center is socialization and interaction, going back to the student peer-to-peer interaction, or even the student to faculty interaction, faculty and students playing basketball out on the basketball courts. And again, they're outside of those traditional roles of student faculty, and they're just participants. So again, going back to Aston's IEO model, and their relationships with student affairs professionals to expand support networks. So going back to our role as student affairs professionals in creating those supportive relationships with our students. And this goes into student development theories. And again, I tend to go back to myself as a leader among my aquatics team, and the student employees that work for me, that I tend to have closer relationship with, and create that supportive relationship and those interactions. So that was my discussion post, as it pertains to, as the issues of these readings as they pertain to my project. So I look forward to your responses. Thank you.